Hello to everyone. Uh, Today we are going to discuss about the seventh edition of APA manual and how it is created, what are its basic rules, regulations, and how we can use in our citation. So first of all, we should move step by step in which firstly we have to know about the origin of APA. Here in the slide you can see the American Psychological Association or the APA provides some citation styles, provides some formats or protocols to write your research papers, and basically it is a widely used style all over the world, and mostly researchers, scholars use this manual for their citation, for their publication of research paper, articles, dissertation or thesis. Many universities also adopt this APA style. So basically in the slide there are some terms displayed that use APA. First one is business line, health sciences, sciences and social sciences. APA regulations, what we are going to cover in this video three sections. First of all, we will provide a general introduction about the APA, about the seventh edition manual, and what is the core elements of this seventh edition. After that, we will cover especially the referencing style, how we have to reference, how we have to formulate our references according to APA. So here we understand about the APA. Now we will move to our next slide, format. This is the basic format of the APA, in which it is just a short intro, or we can say a core important things. So it use 1 inch margin on all the slides of the document. Means we have to use 1 inch of margin while writing our research paper or any research article. And second point is students paper need only to include a page number in the upper right hand corner to every title page. Use a common readable font through, and it provides two fonts in which you can write, and most popularly is the Times New Roman in 12 size, and double spacing throughout including title, references and page. Means APA style, we have to provide double spacing. We have to use 2.0 space in our Word or MS Word after writing or completing our research paper. APA paper sections, uh, we also have to check from our university guidelines too, because every university or institutions has some guidelines of their own along with this APA style. So here it is just a intro. It includes title page, abstract, introduction, literature review, method, results, findings, and discussion, and at last references. So title page, how we have to write this title page. So it is here in the slide. You can read it easily, and you can understand how we have to write this. Heading format, how we have to put the headings in our article or in our research work. Here in the slide you can see it easily, and how we have to write the text, how we should start writing our research article through APA style of citation. So here it is seen in this picture. Style guidelines, there are some few points we have to keep in our mind, that use a clear, concise language, avoid confusion, and numerals under 7 should be spelled out, and use I in place of editorial we. Do not use he or she as a generic pronoun. it is acceptable to use they. Or in second way, caras, comma 2020. Paraphrases paraphrases states the ideas of another author's own words. Means how we can use the same language of another author which we are going to include on our research work. So here are the paraphrases. So APA prioritizes the paraphrasing over quoting. So he prefer or this citation prefer the paraphrasing over the quoting. Use the author their citation system to attribute paraphrased ideas. Okay. Direct quotes, how we have to quote directly, and for direct quotes fewer than 40 words. It means we should keep in our mind that words should be minimum, and approx 40 words it will be a good narrative. And both types of citations or direct quotes are given here. Basically, there are two types you can see in the slide, and how we have to quote them in a different protocol. First of all, in the first narrative section, APA 2020 is in the front, and in the second one is APA, comma 2020, comma page number 270 is at the last. So here is the difference in both. If we have the unpaginated sources, means in which we don't know the actual page, and if we want to cite that quote or we want to cite that text in our work, then we can write or we can use this kind of format, this kind of way. If we have multiple authors, in the last of this video, I will demonstrate very clearly with the examples. Here are the some sorts of, we can say, basic introduction or review about it. Unknown author, similarly, how uh, if we don't know the author of a book, if we don't know the author of a journal, if we don't know the author of any text we are using in our research work, then we have to use it without the names of author and how we can write it. So here is the example of how we should write text, how we should write uh, their reference in our research work with this type of style. Here are the two examples of both the categories. Two or more words in parenthetical reference. When citation multiple words, same parenthetical references, place the citation in alphabetical order, separating them with semicolons. So here is when we have two or more than, so how we should write it. So this is, we can understand it. So the next is the references, how we have to take or how we should reference, how we should write the references in our research work. So here in the slides you can see it. References centered and bolded means we have to put the heading of reference in the central of our page, and entries should be arranged in alphabetical order. It is very mandatory portion that many students, many research scholars do this fault again and again. That they should not use this alphabetical order in their reference work, and at last it is denied by their supervisor or the teacher. So we should keep in our mind that we should use the alphabetical order. Means we have using 20 references for our research work, and 20 different people's we are citing them as our in our reference. Then we have to put in, means for example we using name Alex, we using name Beatrice. So a Alex should be in the front, means it will be in the top, and after that the B alphabet will be. So we should keep in our mind about the alphabetical order of the references. We should also identify the source type, what is the work, to determine the format and follow and ask. So you can easily read, and elements are missing, what to do when one or more elements are missing. Reference elements you can use the in the series of punctuation, then author, date, title, source. So here you can read, put a in the bottom reference elements. You can read all the protocols, all the rules accordingly. And how to cite a book, this is also mentioned. Citing a journal article, how we have to cite a journal if we are using our text from the journal or from any journal and we want to use it in our research work, then we have to cite it according to this format. So how to cite article with a DOI or the database. For example, here is the author A dot and author BB dot year title. What is the title of the journal? Oh, sorry, what is the title of the research work and how the subtitle of the research work? Semicolon, comma, then journal title, name of the journal, volume, which volume from it has been taken, and similarly, here is the example that manipulate, comma, s dot m dot and so means in 2019 language learning as language use. It is the title, and across linguistic model of child language development. It is a subtitle, and the name of the journal is Psychological Review. So this is the seventh edition manual. So this is the front page official guide to APA style, and seventh edition American Psychological Association, how we have to publish a guide to site growth. So here you can see published name of the publisher from where it is published, and electronic edition published in 2020. Let me enlarge it. Yes. So here is the basic introduction about it. Contents, what it contains this APA 7th edition. List of the tables are there, editorial staff and contributor, acknowledgement and introduction, publishing principles, types of articles and papers, ethical, legal and professional standards in publishing, paper elements and format. The second unit, third is journal article reporting standards, how we use the APA format in writing our journal or research paper in general, writing style and grammar, how we can use effective uh, English, or how we can use effective language without making less mistakes grammatically. Grammar and uses, how we should use verbs, pronouns, sentence construction strategies to improve your writing are there. Bias-free language guidance means we are not uh, previously influenced with these kinds of or any kind of prejudice we can say, or influence, or just copy the text from another source. Mechanism and style, how we have to use the punctuation, spellings, capitalization, italics, abbreviation, numbers, statics, and mathematical copy, presentation of equation list. How we have to manage all this in our research work according to APA standards. Tables and figures, general guidelines for tables and figures in our research work, dissertation, or thesis. How we have to use it. Work credited in the text, a general guideline for the citation, work requiring a special approach to citation, paraphrases, and quotations. Ninth is the referencing list, which is very important. Reference categories means we are taking our data from different sources. It may be journal, it may be from directly the website, it may be from a book having one author or more than one author, it may be from the different sources also. So how we have to use these references according to APA. We will take the reference example in last of our video. There are 390 pages in this. So let us only discuss about what is new in this seventh edition. It includes Chapter 1, Scholarly Writing and Publishing Principles, addresses types of paper and ethical complaints, and new guidance address quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods article as well as student paper, dissertations, and the thesis. Information on planning and ensuring the ethical compliance and reflect best practices. Guidance on data sharing, including in qualitative research, reflects open practice standards. Chapter 2, it includes what is the new in Chapter 2, the paper elements and the format is the Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is designed to help the novice users of APA style select format and organize paper elements. Title page is updated for professional and new students. Title page is provided for all the papers and the running head format has been simplified for professional authors and it is not required for students. Journal articles, what is the new in the chapter 3? Is the JARS stands for Journal Article and Reporting Standards, basically used for journals. So the two core points are included in the seventh edition. JARS for quantitative research has been significantly expanded and updated, and the updated JARS now cover qualitative and mixed methods research. In chapter 4, what is new? The similar way is endorsed, consistent with inclusive uses. More detailed guidance helps writer avoid anthropomorphism. Chapter 5, in this way, existing guidance on age, disability, gender, racial and ethnic identity, and sexual orientation has been updated to reflect best practices. New guidance is provided on the participation in research, socioeconomic status, and intersectionality. Okay. So now in chapter 6 is mechanics of style. It covers some new uh, way. There are certain points you can read. Expanded guidance is provided on the capitalization of proper nouns, jobs, titles, and orders and more. Means this is the new including in the seventh edition. New guidance is given how to write a gene and protein name. It is very important in this. We use certain genes present in our body or in any animal. Then how we have to use or how we have to cite that gene or protein name in our research work or in different according things. So we can use these guidelines to put that name accordingly as per the APA standards and how we have to use tables. Accessible use of color in figures is addressed. Formatting of tables and figure is parallel, including consistent styles of number, titles, and notes. More than 40 new sample tables are included in the seventh editions too. Was credited in the text. So how if we want to credit anybody's work in our text, so how we should use it. So name of the first author plus et al. Et al. Is very widely used in our research work, and many students and scholars get confused why we are using it. So here in text citation has been simplified in all in text citation for work with three or more authors are shortened to the name of the first author plus et al. It means if we have more than three authors or three authors means A, B, and C, then we can use A et al. Means there are some more authors or the researchers or the scientists along with A, and they also contribute in that research work. So if we have to cite them, then we use AETAL dot means A at all. New guidance is also provided on how to cite recorded or unrecorded traditional knowledge and oral traditional of indigenous peoples, which is a very important terms which is included in this edition. Indigenous way to cite means some indigenous people. For example, in our country, in India, we want to use some quotation of some famous rishis or some famous great personalities or anybody from we use different countries research scholar uses accordingly. For example, in Africa, someone has you wants to use it, they have to follow these guidelines to cite their work or cite their quotation or cite their contribution accordingly. So, seventh edition manual has also provided these guidelines to cite any great personalities' work in your research work. New guidance is provided on how to format quotations from research participants. It is also very important uh, term which is included in this seventh edition manual. Reference list is also given. The number of authors included reference and in the reference we will talk it later. In a brief, we can say reference how we have to use the reference style. I will show it in differently. So here is the chapter 10. What it includes, it provides more than 100 examples of API style references. You got a clear vision about how to reference in your research work and TED Talks, YouTube videos, PowerPoint slides and lectures, notes, how we can use these work or these contribution in our research work as a reference. So we can go there or we can use this format to cite it in a proper way. And the chapter 11 is the legal references, guidelines from the Blue Book, a uniform system of citations, continue to be the foundation for APA style legal references with some modifications. Chapter 12 includes publication and process and provides a guidance on the publication processes. So here is the chapter 12. What is new in it? You can read in this video and APA style online. If you want to search more about the APA style, so here are the some links of the websites which is of APA. APA style.apa.org, apastyle.apa.org slash jars, and similarly .org slash blog, and for academic writer AP style blog, for the jars website AP style website, so you can go there. Now we will move on the referencing guideline, and here is the referencing guideline for APA 7th edition. And it citing sources in your papers. It is narrative citation and paragraphal citation. Here is the clear examples are given, and we earlier discussed in our slides how we have to cite. Here is the one author when one author is given, how in the narrative citation and paragraphal citation. So both in narrative and the parenthetical citation, how we have to use with one author, two author, three authors, and direct quotation when we are providing. When we are using paraphrase, then with one author, how we have to write, it is clearly mentioned in these examples, two authors, three authors. Dates, APN include these publications with entry includes a month manual. So here page numbers, how we have to use the page numbers. It is you can read it from here. And the names, how we have to use the name. The body of APA paper typically uses last names only, even on the first reference. Like junior means J or dot, inverted commas close. And when there is no author, how we have to use the book. When you don't know the name of your source author, use the first word of its title. It is size the title of a periodical book or the report. Use quotation marks for an article or manual. Multiple authors, then how we have to use it. It is given if your source has two authors, cite both every time. If there are three or more authors, use the first author's name. And at all, we have discussed earlier why we use at all. Group authors, one citation, multiple sources. If you refer to several sources within the same parentheses, put them in the same order in which they appear in your reference list and separate them with semicolon. Example is here, one paragraph. Another is secondary citation, how we have to provide the secondary citation. You can how we can use it accordingly according to APA 7th edition's manual. Email or personal interviews, how we can cite them in our research work. Long quotations, how much can I quote? So as general rule, more than the 10% of any paper should consist of direct quotations. Means we can use the 10% of any research article or papers we can use directly in our research work. The reference list, page format, order of reference, names. Order of reference, we have discussed that we should use the alphabetical order, means A, B, C, D, like this. Name shorten all the first and middle names to initials. Multiple authors, if a source has up to 20 authors, list them all. If it has 21 or more, list the first 19 and elect and the name the last. One author or multiple works. Here it is word organization, help organization, and having different words we can use accordingly. Dates. So, how we have to use the dates in our citation, capitalization, italics, publication information, databases, POIs. POIs stand for Digital Object Identifier, a permanent number that goes with them wherever they are published online. How we can use them? It is also given URLs. We generally include our sources. We use sources online nowadays, especially we just go on Google and search about the works done related to our topic, then how to use these URLs in our research work and different citation. So here are the examples. It is travel dates. Do not include the travel dates for online sources unless the source is both unarchived and expected to change over time. Example is the online dictionary in Google Map. Here, last. Here are some sample references. I will put down them slowly so you can read it. And the first one is book with subtitle. Uh, a main thing in keep in our mind that in the first line should be a half inch left way to the second line. Means in the first line, here you can reach the metropolitan book. So this second, third, or fourth any line, rest of the first line of your reference should be half inch toward the right side. Okay, it is also very essential guideline. We always do mistakes in this. So book with two editors instead of author, how we have to write it. Easy chapter or section editable. Journal with BOI, magazine articles online, unsigned entry, Wikipedia entry, how we use the Wikipedia entry, website articles with author, website articles without author or date. So here are some few examples of sample references. So thank you so much for listening me, for providing your valuable time for this video, and how we can use the APA citation style, referencing style in our research paper. So here I tried to provide a general short review about this. And if you want to anything more about this APA citation style or referencing style, or if you want to know about or you want to download these PDFs related to 7th edition manual, you can directly message us on the YouTube and we will provide you the link. So thank you so much.